It started with a knock I'll never forget. I was sitting in my living room on a Tuesday evening, grading reports and sipping black coffee, when there came a loud pounding on the front door. Outside, under the street light, two men in dark navy jackets stood there, badges clipped to their belts, looking official. Their shoes were polished, their stance confident. Immediately, I recognized something was off, because grown men don't walk up to the chief of police's house expecting to make an arrest, and I knew my rights. I opened the door. "Can I help you, gentlemen?" I asked calmly. They pushed a laminated HOA enforcement badge forward, and the taller one said, "Chief Daniels, HOA has launched an investigation into multiple violations at your property. You are under arrest for tampering with community safety standards." I blinked. Arrest. Huh. The two words don't belong together in any lawful sentence I've ever heard. I crossed my arms, voice firm. "You have no jurisdiction. I'm the elected chief of police in this county. There's no HOA rule that gives you power to arrest a law enforcement officer." The shorter man shifted. He said, "Board meeting passed a motion last month. You've ignored repeated notices. Unauthorized fencing, unregistered security cameras, off-road vehicles blocking easements. If you don't come with us, we will have to forcibly remove you." I laughed softly, not out of disrespect, but because this absurdity demanded it. Fences? Cameras? Blocking what easements? Show me the ordinance. Show me the vote and signatures. I'll comply if it's legitimate law. But if it's not, you're trespassing on my property. Their faces hardened. They stood like they believed their own theatrics. Over the next few hours, calls were made. From my home office, I pulled out my city code binder, the county record maps, and my HOA obligations documents. I had complete legal authority, including public safety powers, and I had maintained compliance on every noted point. I discovered, buried in HOA minutes, a motion that claimed enforcement officers could assist police. It had been passed quietly, with low attendance, no notice to me, multiple signatories who later said they never voted. That was my legal hammer. The following week, fake HOA officers showed up again. They parked unmarked SUVs in my driveway at dawn, flashed badges, and demanded I open the gate for inspection under community safety protocols. I stood on my porch, wearing my badge, visible, polished. I said, "You can't inspect private property based on a motion you passed in a meeting that didn't follow notice rules. This is illegal. You have no authority." They argued. I recorded every exchange, badge numbers, fake or unregistered, license plates, audio. My deputy later confirmed that none of those badges were registered with the municipal licensing department. None of those cars were licensed as enforcement vehicles. That night, I reviewed the footage. I replayed the audio where one of them said, "We can arrest you." An arrest. From HOA. My heart pounded. This is exactly the kind of abuse police officers get called out for. Not this time. I would not let someone impersonate law enforcement, or worse, try to misuse law against the law. So I took steps. First, I formally requested documentation from the HOA. Show me the recorded vote, certified signatures, proof that the officers were licensed. They offer none, just letters demanding compliance, then threats. When that failed, I called our county attorney and informed them of the impersonation, trespass, misrepresentation, and abuse of power. I asked my staff to compile a legal dossier, footage deed, votes, code citation, licensing checks. Everything laid bare. Then I staged a notice. Posted signs at the driveway entrance. Notice: no HOA officer may enter without proper legal authorization. Legal text referencing state code. I also arranged for uniformed patrol officers to stand by. I wanted to ensure if fake HOA officers returned, there would be official witnesses. The climax came one afternoon at 3 p.m. I was in the front yard planting flowers. My neighbor waved from across the street. "Chief, they're coming." I looked up. 2 SUVs, one labeled HOA enforcement, badly done lettering, the other unmarked, pulled up at my gate. The fake leader stepped out, badge held out, voice booming. "You're under arrest, Chief, for violating community safety ordinances." I calmly raised my hand. My deputy appeared behind him. Real badge, real authority, my paperwork in my hand. I said, You have zero authority to arrest me. I'm a county chief. This is private property. This is not a community safety issue justified under any law. Step back or you will be detained for impersonation." The tension was electric, neighbors filming, cameras rolling. The fake officer tried to argue. I held up my phone, audio tape of his admission that he has no license, no training, no registration. The deputy escorted them off the gate with warnings. "Leave now, or you will be cited and arrested." They left, muttering threats. But it was over. The community had watched. The record was made. In court, the HOA president came forward to defend their actions. "We didn't mean to impersonate law enforcement," he said, voice tight. "We were only attempting compliance." But the judge wasn't sympathetic. The judge reviewed code. You can't arrest someone simply because an HOA motion was passed in secret, with no legal notice, no licensing, no authority. The judge found them guilty of impersonation, trespass, civil harassment, and fined them heavily. Their enforcement badge program was permanently disbanded. They were ordered to issue a public apology. Placards and announcements throughout the community had to clarify the legal boundaries between HOAs and law enforcement. After the verdict, things changed fast. The HOA stopped sending enforcement letters. The board meetings required full published notice. Every officer who had claimed authority produced licensing, or their claims were nullified. My cameras, deed, and authority were never again questioned. Now I drive down that road without cones. No traffic stopped, no badges flashed. Neighbors wave, kids play, the lawns get mowed. Letters come, but they are courteous, official, legal. And I regard every inch of that property with a quiet pride because I defended what was mine with evidence, law, and resolve. The most important lesson I learned: power is not given, it's proven. HOAs can pass motions in meetings, call themselves officers, and threaten people. But unless the law backs them, unless there's licensing, ordinance, or statute, all pretense falls apart. If you're a homeowner, or if you face HOA overreach, record everything. Demand legal proof. Use licensed authority. Protect your property. Don't let anyone pretend to have power they don't. This was my story, this moment, this fight. And if somebody out there is going through something similar, you're not alone. Keep your camera rolling. Gather your documents. Stand your ground. Because sometimes the law is on your side when you refuse to be intimidated. Subscribe because the next HOA showdown, it's going to be even more unbelievable.